Now, I hope Mr. Moore hasn't completely gotten too mad at me about calling a funkadelic in church. But it is offered for a reason. And you see, that song came as kind of what people thought was a climactic beginning of something that was a little out of kilter and out of step. You see, there was a guy named George Clinton. Anybody familiar with George Clinton? I bet if I look in some of y'all's cars, y'all got some flashlights from some George Clinton concerts. I say that and I offer that because there is something about the off-kilter syncopation of the music that was inviting but also making a declaration. In other words, unlike jazz, funk music decided that it was going to go about itself and forge a new path. What do you mean, Reverend? I love the way Thelonious Monk would dabble at the piano. I really love and have an appreciation for how John Coltrane would play something that was never in the mind of Louis XVI in France, oh, y'all don't hear me, or perhaps King Henry VIII in England. But there was something about funk music that came back at the core of who we were. And it invited us to dance to our own spaces and rhythms and times. In other words, it didn't ask for permission. Can you look at somebody and say, I don't need your permission? What I'm really trying to get at this morning is that there is something that's going on inside of me, and I'm sorry that you all have to live through your pastor's midlife crisis. But there's something that's happening inside of me that no longer gets simply excited simply by the basis of the call and response. That there's something deeper inside of me that wants something more than just great music and an occasional good sermon. You see, there's something inside of me that yearns and hungers for something that I can feel not only the presence of God, but actually having made an encounter with God to want to live better the next of the week. Y'all hear what I'm saying? And so there's one thing, there's something that I'm struggling with because it's not just in the music. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. It's not just in the words that are being projected. I want to have this relationship with God that when I go to God, God knows it's me calling him. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And so when we talked a couple of weeks ago about Gustavo Gutierrez, and he has this thing called the preferential option to the poor, we know that it's in the mind of God, Dr. Amelia, that God makes a decision to be funky. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And if God makes this decision to be funky, that means that not only does God get into the dirt of humanity, God also gets in my dirt too. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. And so there's nothing, Lord have mercy, that is I can do or think or imagine that gets me out of the eyesight of God's love. And so just like Parliament when they were playing that funk, it's so high, y'all don't hear me. You can't get over it. It's so wide, you can't get around it. It's so low, you can't get under it. I really wish I could get funky sometimes in church and not be so wasn't even on your mind? You ever been going through a situation that no matter how loud the preacher preached or how long the choir song that you couldn't get through? And so Jesus, who left where he was from, I'm just telling the story, went back on the way because he was ready. He thought he was prepared to leave. And then on the way there, Sister Courtney, the Bible says his cousin got sent to jail. And Jesus felt some kind of way. And that's how I know Jesus was my kind of brother. Because he was never removed from the suffering of those close to him. There's some of us under the sound of my voice that when your credit level gets to a certain place, y'all forget to answer the phone. There's some of us, when we move to the other side of town, we forget about the other side of town. But what I love about Jesus is that when he was going through, he came out and his ear was attentive, Lord have mercy, to the suffering of his brothers and sisters. But he could not do it by himself. And if he was going to come into humanity, robed with flesh, he had to have a posse. Oh, Jesus. He could not change the world by himself. And so I love what Mama Fortune Kirk was reading, that there was a sense of call on his life, that he had to involve other people. But because God has a preferential option to the poor, Jesus did not go to the rabbinic school to pick out his homeboys. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. Can you use your sanctified imagination for a moment? Anybody here like fried fish?
Well.
Come on, I'm hungry thinking about it. A good fried fish. Many of us don't think about the process by how this fish comes together. Y'all don't hear what I'm saying. You got to go out and catch. You got to catch the fish. Is that not right? And not only do you have to catch the fish, you got to bring back the fish. And you got to what? You got to kill it first. That's another sermon for you. Y'all cleaning something else like that. And that's why you can't know. That's another sermon. That's way too easy. That's too easy. That's too easy. You got to kill it. Then you got to clean it. Right? Then you got to cook it for it to be prepared. Miss Brinkley is smiling because she said he don't cook, but he knows what he likes. Y'all hear what I'm saying. And so here we find something that's going on, that Jesus is ready to choose his folk group because he's looking for a wider net. And if you like fish, you also know that fish smells funny.
Oh, yes.
Sister Janice made some salmon cakes that had Dr. Tom Boomershine biting his fingers on Thursday. That's how good it was. But the smell, you can smell it from the time you hit the door. Now, use your sanctified imagination. I feel good. I'm preaching today. Use your sanctified imagination. Jesus is now on the move to get his posse. Is that right? Yeah. He's walking on a hot Galilee day and he picks up some fishermen. Do you think they smell good? He gets the fishermen in the midst of their job. And that's why I love Jesus. And I feel like crying right now. Because Jesus doesn't care what you smell like. He doesn't care where you've been or what you've done. Jesus will meet you at your point of need. Can I get a witness in this place today? Is there anybody here that will testify that when you were low down and couldn't write 2 checks without one of them bouncing, God still looked past your faults and met you right? Lord, have mercy. I love it. And that's what gets me to my first point. If you want to have this funky relationship with Jesus, you've got to know you can I tell you a secret? I can't mind that. I hate being the only brother at the family reunion. Everybody's... I hate it. I can't wobble. And it's not that I don't... Lord have mercy. It's not that I can't. I just haven't settled down long enough to learn how to do it. And I'm so sick of Christians that say, Pastor, I can't pray. It's not that you can't. Lord have mercy. It's not that you have not set time on your knees and learn how to pray for yourself. Pastor, I can't read my Bible. It's not that you can't. It's not that you turned off all the music and the television and learn how to read God's word for yourself. Pastor, I need a healing. It's not that you can't heal me. It's not that you studied long enough. And so I'm asking somebody in here to learn how to follow the beat that God gives you. So oftentimes we're trying to be somebody else and end up being the second best of somebody else as opposed to being the number one God has created you. But I wonder if there's someone here today that's sick and tired of the distractions, tired of the obstacles, and wanting to follow the beat that God has given him. That beat might make you raise your grandchild. That beat might make you feed a homeless person. That beat might make you start an after-school program. Because our ancestors said, if I can help somebody as I travel along, as I can help somebody with the word of song, then my living.
Yes, sir. Not being done.
So the first thing you got to learn how to do is follow. Yes. Now, the interesting thing about the follow is that you got to play favorites. Because the first people were casting nets and they made a decision to follow him by their names. Lord have mercy. But the second thing I found that was interesting is that the second group of brothers left their family. You might have to play favorites. Not only must you follow, but you're going to have to play favorites. To have an incarnational and a real funky relationship, Lord have mercy. I wish I could see how quiet y'all are right now. You're going to have to choose Jesus, Lord have mercy, over your children. Yep, I said it. You're going to have to choose Jesus over your job. Yep, I said it. You're going to have to choose Jesus over your ambition or your ego, because someone here today knows for themselves that whenever you decided to put God first in your life, something happened. Something unusual began to take place. Can I get a witness in this house today? Is there anybody here that can testify that when you got tired of trying to please mama, when you got tired of trying to please daddy, when you got tired of trying to impress cousins that don't care nothing about you, when you finally made up in your mind to follow Jesus, everything started to fall in line because you got rid of that drama and you got delivered, you got rid of that cowardice and you got courage, you got rid of that mess and you got miracles. Can I get a witness in this place today? Is there anyone here that will testify that if you seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, that all that stuff shall be unto you?
Yes.
Hallelujah.
Yes.
I believe that. I believe that God chooses stinky, funky Peter Edwin Matthews, who's had to make some hard decisions about who to follow, and not only who to follow, but I decided to play favorites. And why are you playing favorites? Because when I looked in my pocket and I was broke, it wasn't the district superintendent that helped me pay my bills. When I looked and found my knees were all messed up, it wasn't the bishop that healed my body, but it was Jesus that woke me up this morning. It was Jesus that started me on my way. And if I can find 2 or 3 people that want to choose Jesus first, we will have a funky good time. Not only must I follow, not only must I choose and play favorites, but if we're going to be one church, one city, one nation, under the groove. We also got to understand is that the favor of God on our lives, Lord Jesus, is not for us, but it's for the people. It's for the people. And that's where a lot of us get in trouble. There's a book, Joy Unspeakable. I love it. At the end of this book, ooh, child. Ooh, child. She says the legacy of Christianity does not begin on the plantation. It starts with the beginning of the Christian story, which continues through Pentecost and the Roman Church, then spreads through the world. When the history is reclaimed, things like contemplation will be seen as an integral part of our process. Indeed, it's not the racist interpretation of the gospel, it's rather when we will accept the gospel itself. Too many of us have been making excuses as why not the favor of God exists outside of us. It says at the end of this chapter in Matthew 4 that Jesus traveled through Galilee, teaching in their synagogues, the good news of the kingdom, healed every disease and every sickness amongst the people. News about him spread throughout Syria, and people brought to him all. Somebody say all. All. That means black. Somebody say all. All. That means white. That means gay. That means straight. That means rich. That means poor. People brought all those and various kinds of diseases and pains, possessed by demons, those with leprosy, and those who were paralyzed. Jesus healed them. When Jesus got this thing called favor on his life, it was to demonstrate to the disciples that Jesus is not in the segregation business, that the favor of God is upon us, and it is to heal everybody. That means from East Dayton and West Dayton. That means from Centerville. Lord have mercy. When everybody comes and has a good time in Jesus, the news of those who appear to be funky on the outside have something new on the inside, because there's a song that reverberates, and that song is called grace. Grace is something that's unmerited, but it also is a conscious reminder of how far God has brought you. And if I can have 2 or 3 people, as opposed to looking at me like I'm crazy, just for a minute, think about what God has brought you from and what God has brought you to. You too would get excited. You too would say amen. Because the favor that God gives me is not for me to drive a fancy car or wear new shoes, but the amazing grace that's on my life makes a song that homeless people can understand and kings and queens can understand. And so when the song says how to reach the masses, men of every birth, for an answer, Jesus gave the key. God says, if I be lifted up, not the music, not the pastor, if I be lifted up, I am desiring and in desperate need of an encounter from and of which black, white, gay, straight, rich, poor people can come down this aisle, and if they're looking for a healing, but that means we move outside of the cultural idioms that ensnare us. What does that mean? Power to the people. Y'all know how I am. But the reality of the situation is we are in the midst of developing a space for healing. And guess what? You, me, we all are wounded healers. Kathy Taylor, that Jesus smelled how funky you were and chose you anyway. That Jesus smelled how crazy you were and chose you anyway. And the rite of passage to get in tune with this beautiful parliament is to know that you got to follow. But you follow like you've been called. That means James Stotts and I've got to follow differently. That means Helen Brinkley and Nate Dillard. I've got to follow, but according to the name that's been. And then I've got to choose him. I promise I'm finished. I'm going to just say this. Have you ever been in a relationship where you're the only one choosing? Ooh-wee. You was just there. You was wondering why I wasn't going nowhere. God chooses you, but you got to choose him. And then once that call is on your life, there is a multitude of people that are in need of the healing. What I love, and I promise I'm finished. I promise I'm finished. We got to go. Just think about this, though. The disciples, at this point, God's favor is not resting upon them, but they're watching it at work. The impartation has not yet been given to the disciples, but Jesus wants them to know that when the favor of God rests upon you, it is not for your purposes. It's for the people. It's the healing. It's the bringing. And so Jesus smatters and smashes all these religious beliefs because he does not go to the Pharisees and the Sadducees and those in ruling power. Jesus gets his gang together and goes straight to the people that need it most. And that's what we want to be about, church. That if the favor of God is called upon your life, everyone under the sound of my voice got at least 2 cousins that need help. I'm not going to say how many I have. I got a couple. But you got at least 2. What if in your mind right now you believe that this is the year that your cousin's going to be sitting next to you? That opposed to talking about it, that you're going to begin now to begin to work that through. Because you're mindful that as smelly as they are, you're not too fresh either. But ask now if you would just grab the hand of somebody.